Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and this is a Trailer Friday. So you're coming to the end of your week and you're figuring out, where should I spend anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes of my end of my day? It's right here with us. It's Friday, it's the end of the week. Spend your time right here with us.
You're telling people,
yeah.
I have between 5 and 20 minutes.
Who knows?
And if you don't know where to spend it,
right.
Like spend it here with us.
Yeah. Right with us.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying like you spend your lifetime, right? We're not going to be married. But if you want to look for how you're going to spend, you can grab a drink, sit down, take a look at what we're talking about, and how we're going to introduce the full episode that's going to be released on Sunday.
Well, yeah, and people could say they got a full life.
Mm-hmm.
And so the full episode might feel like too much for them. And so, hey, if your cup is overflowing, I'm telling you right now, it's okay. Technology-wise, got a couple different upgrades. We got a new camera shot, trying to get away from me like being here with my shoulder like that, and but I still didn't get really turned around to be able to view the camera. Now that's better. Woohoo! With fan art in the background, and
right, and we're still waiting for your fan art to come and be put on the wall.
The blackbird of this circus right here, right now. Telling you, oh man, dude, anytime we hit off on record,
yeah,
and John's like, that's a good episode.
Yeah.
Then I kind of take that as a barometer.
Right.
It's a barometer on two things. The one is whether the episode's good or not. And so but yeah, so this episode,
mm-hmm.
it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, at least talk about.
Right. The conversation flowed.
Got to drop that rhyme. So, if you wonder what's going to be happening on Sunday, Steve is growing as an individual. He's becoming a historian concerning secret societies.
Mm-hmm.
We're cutting through the conspiracy stuff.
Right. And to say growing means that we're not there on all the dates yet.
Oh, historically, I'm illiterate when it comes to this stuff.
Right.
But it's going to make more sense 2 years from now.
Right.
I just can't take it all in
mm-hmm.
at one time.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. So if you fact checked us, we might be 35% correct half of the time. The other half of the time, we're like 97% correct.
Right.
In the episode I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, if you're thinking, at one point, I just pointed out, we're actually showing our ignorance here.
Yeah.
That we would talk in such generalities and then be that off.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So it's hilarious.
Right. I mean, and so what we recognize is that we also don't know everything. So we're okay with not knowing it.
Yeah.
But,
you know the other part I like about you?
Yeah.
The other day I was telling you that I like that you're not an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that you're funny. You make me laugh. Some of these truth bombs going down, I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome, dude. And maybe that's the deal. We just entertain each other.
I think so.
Okay.
I do enjoy it.
And excited about the fan base growing. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's even more. I mean, as I talk to people, I'm like, hey, you also got a podcast. Oh, really? I'm like, well, I've got a second podcast now. And I'm like, we're talking about culture and arts. We talk about all kinds of different stuff. And, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable to talk about things that are just outside of different realms.
Speaking about arts and entertainment,
yeah,
one of the things that we were talking pre-podcast was we were talking about the live music that's rolling out.
Right.
I think the nation is starting to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, poor musicians can keep on being poor.
Right.
I mean, as far as like gigs are happening,
mm-hmm.
and things like that. But from Jason Isbell to Lollapalooza.
Foo Fighters are going to head Thursday.
Yeah.
Headline.
Journey's coming.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen the Journey documentary, you should watch that.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'll look it up.
And so music and wide open spaces, intimate places. It's good opportunities coming.
You did make some rhymes.
Well, I can do that all the time,
flow.
whether I want to or I don't. What I know is the notes that I sing can be off key. So that's what we're pointing to. Secret societies. We're talking about lots, 3 primary, but different secret societies. And, it's when people are keeping secrets that it just makes you want to go, I need to find out the truth.
Right.
Or at least, some sources and form my own opinions based on the propaganda being given to me.
Right. Because it's always good to distinguish, and that's why we talked a little bit also about conspiracy theories, because sometimes the two get tied together because you're trying to be able to discern. And you're like, I'm going to follow down this rabbit hole, and then it ends up leading you to conspiracy theories, which are sometimes just really bonkers.
Yeah. So, and that would be an interesting thing for people to comment on later Sunday night is how far are they willing to go?
Right.
Like what things? What things do they connect with as far as conspiracy theories and how that works out? We touch base on the roots. We give a brief historical context to the development of the church that will become the Western cultured church, rooted in and from the Middle East, from Israel, Palestine, up through the UK and Europe, floating the boats across the ocean to the U.S., and all the different splits and divisions, and just started asking some questions on why are we surprised when people are so confused.
Right.
Which leads us to the state, church, and religion, and power and control.
Right.
And actually, Phil had a great breakdown of what all that means, and so there's that part. The other part is the question of, is Steve a direct descendant?
Family history.
Of any high leadership in Nazi Germany, at least on this timeline.
Right.
One of the things that I didn't mention was Man in the High Castle.
Right.
Yeah, alternate realities. Yeah. Which is time travel.
Right. We didn't talk about that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But I mean, all of these things to consider. We head down memory lane. Talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark.
We do.
Yeah, I might put that on in the studio when I'm working up there today.
Which one?
Oh, I gotta go with number 1. Okay. Nostalgic. Yeah.
I like 1.
Temple of Doom, number 2 sucks, and I'm not sure about number 3. That was okay.
Which one is 3? Isn't that the Nazi one?
No, number 1's the Nazi one too. I think, aren't they all the Nazi ones?
I don't know. Now I got to go back into my Indiana Jones history.
Well, I'm not going to be there long enough to see all 3 of them today, but by the end of tomorrow, maybe I will have. Yeah.
All right.
I got Back to the Future up there too.
All 3?
All 3. Marty!
Which one's your favorite?
Probably number 1.
Yeah, I like 1 and 2. I mean, I like 2 as well, but I mean, 3 is definitely further on the list, but I like 1 and 2.
Well, there's only 3 on the list, and so since 3's further down,
be 3.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I do have an animated version of Wolverine that I haven't gotten to yet. I might have to plug that in too. I got 2 animations in the studio. Okay. The original Hobbit.
You have an animated Hobbit, huh?
Oh, yeah, baby.
I don't think I've ever seen an animated Hobbit.
The animated Hobbit from the late 70s, early 80s came on TV, and I knew that it was coming, and I took my cassette recorder to the TV and recorded the whole thing so that I could listen to it as an audiobook.
Wow.
As a child, I went to bed listening to The Hobbit.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, so, man, just enjoyable.
Right.
I mean, and for people who wondered, yeah, the wedding was cool. Man, so great to have Adam, and Michaela having tied the knot. For me personally, doesn't really change much. As far as I was concerned, Adam's part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And graduation went well for you.
Yeah, Arizona. Sun was shining. It was warm. Tyson's like, I like the warmth. I'm like, no, it's just, and it gets warm here, but it's just warm, sticky here.
Yeah.
There's just,
Yeah,
it's oven hot, but
Yeah.
it is dry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I enjoyed my, hanging out with my brother, father-in-law, mother-in-law. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good time.
And people are back in just a couple weeks because Ty's graduation party's
That's
happening.
right.
Yeah, and so it's kind of boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see as we round the corner on our second season how that all lands on what we're going to have to do to record early because I'm heading out on vacation 1st of June and and second weekend in June I'm in California and so
You're going coast.
Coastal. Yep. And so, yeah, and again, it's the reason why we confess that we're privileged.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. I understand it. You get to live the dream.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, I agree with you. We hadn't been on a flight in a long time.
Right.
Because of COVID. So, yeah, that was our first flight I guess COVID's still happening. With all the death, and have you seen the India toll? It's going crazy out there.
Yep.
No, that's adding a whole nother topic, but yeah, so it was good to kind of get out and different scenery.
Yep.
Yeah, different people.
And you've got the vaccine. Yep. And so I'm gonna take a look at the calendar, look at what's available, and then I'm gonna start my steps towards it. So
right, and there's definitely you won't run into roadblocks anymore. I've been in stores that they'll be like, we have some vaccines available. Anybody wants to come? Come and get it.
Really?
Yeah, like Walgreens.
Yeah.
When I was in Arizona, we were in a Walmart, and they just over the loudspeaker like, "Hey, we got vaccines just in case." You haven't been, get it done.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it should be pretty easily accessible at this point in time.
All right. Let's see. Anything else?
No, I'm excited for you guys to interact with the upcoming episode. It's going to be good, and hopefully you'll also enjoy it as well.
And in this trailer that you're listening to, that's going to work out to be 14 and a half minutes long, so it's not all 20, but it's definitely longer than 5.
Right.
All right. What we'd also like is I'm going back to listen to the Fringe 1 episode. Next week we have a guest. Doc Fordyce is going to be on. We're going to talk Doctor Who. We're going to talk Bigfoot. We're going to talk Skinwalker Ranch. We're going to talk UFOs. There's Russell Brand's got a new thing out with some more release stuff about UFOs. And so we're going all Fringe next week. And we actually may do a lead up because Chris can't get on until 11:30.
Yeah.
And so if we get hooked up and set up, we're going to do a prequel to the Fringe with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that we discover we want him to talk about, we can be able to put that on. But so I'm going back through Fringe and listening to that so that we can be able to grow on that. But if there's other things that you want us to talk about, put it in the comment section on this video.
Right.
And or send us an email at cutdaisiesandunicorns@gmail.com.
Right. And
All
just to, it gives you a great time to prepare for it. Like, there's something you want us to talk about in the Fringe, then put it out there and we'll discuss it. nothing is out of bounds.
It's not. We might rope you in, but it's not out of bounds.
Right.
All right, everybody.
All right. Take care.
See ya.